Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kisha. I blog over at Jaggers.com. That link is in the description box, as well as links to all of my social media. Definitely follow along. I post a lot on Instagram and a lot on Facebook that doesn't go on YouTube, so all those links are below. So today I wanted to make a video because exactly on this date a year ago, my life fell apart. And I thought it would be important, first off, to the people who are new to my channel, welcome. Please hit that red subscribe button and enable notifications so you know when I get videos. So they would kind of come up to date a little bit with, where I'm at now. And also to let people know who are struggling, who are going through a hard time, that life does get better, that you will get through it. And I just thought it was important, and it was such a monumental day for me, July 6, 2016, that it's probably a day I will never forget. So last year, back in July, we had a big cookout on the 4th of July. I didn't even record a lot, but we had a lot of people at our home, and I felt like at that point my marriage was strong. I mean, there was some things going on, and I will explain that to you, but I just didn't see us splitting up. I thought that we would work through our issues and we would be fine. But little did I know that 2 days later, my relationship with my ex would end, and it was definitely a monumental moment for me. It was definitely devastating, and I really couldn't understand what was happening. And it was hard, you guys. Like, you had seen Scott a lot in the videos, and, I definitely loved him, even though there were some personal issues going on with him, and I know there was some with me as well, and I'll talk more about mine in just a little while. But, I noticed some differences in the few months before July. Probably April through July, I had started to notice some differences, and I wasn't sure really where they were coming from. I know he had a friend that I thought was really influencing his thoughts and also helping him maintain his addictions, and it started to really show in many different little ways. And looking back now, I wish I would have put it all together. But it's taken therapy, and it's taken a lot of discussion and analyzing, every single detail to really figure out, why I didn't put all the signs together. And even if I had, what could I have done about it? So on July 6th, Scott and I got into a major fight over his oldest daughter, Laura. And the truth is, you guys, Laura and I were always closer than Laura and her father. They didn't really know each other that well. They didn't spend a lot of time growing up together. And when Laura came into our lives, for some reason, we really clicked. She instantly became a daughter, a best friend, somebody I trusted. We talked a lot. We built up our relationship rather quickly, and I think I don't know, I just had a bond with her, and I still do, and she's still somebody that I love with all my heart, and the grandkids, and she just means the world to me, and that hasn't changed. But Scott and I got into a major argument over her, and little did I know that would be the end of our relationship. And, I had said quite a few things that were inappropriate that maybe, definitely hurt him. And I regret some of those things I said, but some of them I really felt like he needed to hear. So on July 6th, in the evening hours, Scott moved out of our home. He took my stepson, his son Zane, with him, and moved into the home of the friend that was supplying him with drugs, and actually talked him into moving up here. Before I was really ready, I had planned on moving in the summer, and we actually moved during the school year. And so I just, had a lot of issues with where he was at and what he was doing. And it was devastating when he moved out. I really didn't believe he was going to be gone forever. And I thought, you know what, we'll fix this and we will be fine. But little did I know that his sister and that creepy friend of his were really conspiring to keep him away from, his family and encouraging him to stay gone and encouraging him to lie and steal and all kinds of things. And I didn't realize that the forces were so strong against Scott. And so in those following days after he had moved out, I was, really a mess, you guys. I really was. And I documented some of it. Some of those videos I've taken down. But it was one of the toughest times in my life. And at that point, Brittany and Jackson went back to their fathers. And I really thought it was best because I really didn't want them to see me the way I was. And I had trouble getting out of bed. I had trouble talking, actually. I had trouble with so much, even self-care. I didn't want to take a shower. I just wanted to stay in bed until he was home, until we were better. And one of my old boyfriends, somebody that I love, adore, somebody I grew up with, rode bikes and scooters with, kind of stepped up. And I really believe stop it, sorry, it's my cat. I really, really believe he saved my life at that point. He came over and he would just talk to me. There was nothing like sexual going on. He would just talk. He stayed the night a few times. And maybe you're not adult enough to realize that somebody, or some of you, somebody can stay the night without, things happening. But nothing happened. And eventually he got me out of the house, started taking me to, flea markets and shopping and hiking and putting me back in nature, which is something that we had spent a lot of time in while we were kids anyway. And I really believed it helped heal me. I still believe that nature is very healing. So during that time, Russell and I were spending a lot of time together, but we have an older child together that has Asperger's and issues that I don't see regularly. A lot of people don't see him. He pretty much stays in his own little room and doesn't really come out a lot. And that goes for me, and that goes for Russell, and for the rest of the family. He is just secluded. And I hate that, but that's a whole different video. But little by little, I started feeling like myself again. During this time, my mom had come to town. She had wanted me to go out to dinner and just be okay. And my grandmother was ill, and her mom. And I was coping with losing a lady that meant the world to me. I was also dealing with my mom, who was, very supportive. But I don't think she understood exactly how I was feeling because I couldn't eat out. I went to the restaurant and I sat there and I just really just cried. I couldn't eat. I was in shock. And, days turned to weeks. Weeks turned to months. And after about 2 to 3 months, I started feeling a little more like myself. That was because I got into therapy. I put my family and friends back around me, and that includes Brittany and Jackson. They helped me a lot. And my family was very helpful in, getting me out of the depression, making me realize that no matter what had happened, I would be able to move on and that I would be okay. And so I ended up moving into a travel trailer, I guess is what you would call it, like a big camper, and on my cousin's property, and it was a safe place. I didn't take everything out of the house because I simply didn't have room for it. And during that time, I had also started working. I started serving. And it was a great way to get back amongst people when I had been a stay-at-home wife and mom for so long. It was great for my confidence, and it was helpful, obviously, with money. And my family, some of my family was there with me. So, you know, it really did help, you guys. And in that travel trailer, I learned to be alone. I learned that I could, you know, eat dinner by myself. I could come and go as I pleased. I could read a book when I wanted. I didn't have a lot of responsibilities at that time. And, you know, life continued, and I really didn't think that I would be able to make it through any of that. So even just getting to the point where I was living on my own, I mean, I was with family, but even in that little camper, and it was decent size, it wasn't really little. I mean, it was little, but it wasn't like a pop-up or anything. Even after that, I managed to, you know, find another serving job that I liked it better than the one previously that I had. And I found this apartment. And, you know, I was scared. I needed so much. And Scott was still alive at this time, and we were some days on good terms, some days on bad terms, but I don't think I had forgiven him for what he had done to our family, and I don't think he had forgiven me for some of the things I'd said. And then all of a sudden in January, after I had moved into this apartment, I moved into this apartment in November. And so from July to November, you know, I was in the house and in the travel trailer. I don't think that I ever expected Scott to die. But on Christmas Eve, Scott had flipped his car. And after that, I had spoke with him. I'd lost the baby in January. Let me back up a little bit. So when I moved into this apartment, late October, I had started dating an old boyfriend. That old boyfriend was somebody I dated before and after my first ex-husband, and then before and after my second ex-husband. So obviously we had a lot of history. I had gotten pregnant really quick, which was a shock to everybody, and I had lost that baby in January due to just a miscarriage. And I believe, honestly, it was the stress of every single thing in my life happening, and that my body just was not ready to have a baby at that point. So Scott had died. He had overdosed on drugs, and it was a shock, but it wasn't a shock. And he left all kinds of things in disarray. You know, like where his son would go. His daughter never had a chance to really make up with her father. We never had, you know, settled some things that we needed to settle. He had been kicked out of his apartment, and I had actually spoke to him in January after I lost the baby with Ryan, and asked him if the grass was greener on the other side, and he told me no, his life was hell, that he was unhappy. And part of me felt good about that, you know, like, yay, I'm glad it's not all, you know, roses and rainbows for you, because it certainly wasn't for me. But when he passed away, it left a big void for so many people, and myself included. I had trouble coping. I really did. It was hard, and there were some really negative things regarding Scott that I had found out that I still hadn't processed and dealt with, and, you know, some of the things that had happened in the end of our relationship I still had not dealt with, and now he was gone and there was no more answers. And, you know, that was another part of moving on. You know, that part of my life was gone. And it was gone from Brittany, and it was gone from Jackson and Zane and his sister, and it was just over. So, you know, I coped. I was already in a relationship with Ryan, and that is the current boyfriend I have and the father of my baby. And I was already there with him. and he was really supportive as well. Now, Ryan has never liked Scott, and he actually knew Scott before I was with him. He never really liked Scott, and that's fine. I never really liked his ex either, so we both kind of feel the same about that. But he did help me in a lot of ways because, again, there were so many signs that I just missed, and obviously his sister missed, and like, in a way, I felt like we let Scott down because no one really got him help, and no one really, forced him into care. I couldn't force him, even though I was his wife. And, I was sad for the children that had lost somebody that they loved. And, obviously I loved him, but I had already started to move on. So it wasn't as hard on me, but it was definitely a trying time. So again, months turned into days, or days turned into weeks turned into months, and I kept maintaining, my therapy and kept trying to just focus on the now. And I think that is the case. I think that's what anybody needs to do if they're going through similar situations or even different that are life-changing. I think you need to take it day by day, accept whatever you're feeling, because it doesn't matter. Like my therapist said, we all grieve in different ways. We all cope in different ways. There's no right or wrong way to handle the death of somebody you love. There's no right or wrong way to handle the new relationship that you're in when somebody you love passes away. And, I really just tried to stay focused. Stay focused on working, stay focused on my children, stay focused on my relationship, on my apartment, on my family, and not let it drag me completely down like, it had happened in July. So since then, my relationship with Ryan has just grown stronger, and I conceived again. Our baby is due December 11th, and I couldn't be more excited. But it's definitely a weird feeling because I expected to, be married. I expected not to be in a new relationship, even though it's with somebody I'd been in a relationship a few times before with. And I didn't really expect all of the drama that went along with it because, I'm one of many that the gossip people love to talk about. There's so many of my favorite YouTubers that they talk about, but they went nuts when Scott passed away, and when we split up, they went really nuts. And then when Scott passed away, they went crazy, and they tried to analyze every single aspect of my life and of Ryan's life now. And obviously they will try the same with our baby, but I don't read that garbage at all anymore. If there's something really serious, one of my friends who does kind of keep up with it will say something to me, but she has even been instructed, do not let me hear the negative stuff people are saying, because it does hurt. It is wrong 90% of the time, and they don't really understand the situation to begin with. And they're not here every day. They don't pay our bills. They our decisions. They don't do anything except yammer on. So, people are going to talk, and we can let them talk. I just don't have to listen. So, as the time has progressed, I have ended up in a very happy relationship. And I know many of you guys would love to get to know Ryan. And it was funny the other day, he said to me, they're not used to me now, but wait till the baby comes, they will be. I don't think he's ever going to be the kind of person that just gets on camera and just starts talking like I do. He's private. He definitely doesn't want to do that. And I'm not forcing him. I love spending time with him. He loves spending time with me. And right now he is currently going through a divorce, and she makes our life impossible at times. And I know many people want to know, like, the dynamics of that relationship. Well, put simply, a lot of things had happened. They were split up when she said she was pregnant with his oldest daughter. She had many, many issues. She lied a lot. She just did a lot. And he was unhappy, and they had been split up more than together. And I really didn't understand that because I wasn't split up more than together with Scott. but I didn't I really feel bad for Ryan because he lives so unhappily with her. Now, there's some pictures where, you smile and you go on with your business, but, it was quite sad because I didn't realize when we split up that his life would be that hard. Mine really wasn't, and I was very content in my life with Scott for many, many years. But just knowing, everything he had went through just makes my heart break for him. But, at this point in our lives, we don't have time to worry about exes and what Art thinks and what, his ex thinks and, or even really what our teenagers think now. The teenagers have had some adjustment time where, Jackson and Brittany have gotten used to Ryan, and I've gotten to know Mackenzie a little better. Not all of them have been crazy about us being together, and while we respect that and we love them the same, we're not giving up our relationship for the kids. It's just not going to happen. Not kids that are older. And and our love for them has never changed, and it never will change. But they have their lives and we still have ours, and now we have the life of a baby on the way. And so, it just goes to show you that things can change. Life can get better. You never know what lies around the corner. And some of the things that I would say are be prepared for the unexpected. Try to have a nest egg. I didn't, and I'm currently working on one. And it's pretty small right now, but I'm getting there. Be understanding of other people's feelings, and don't let the negativity bother you, because there's always going to be people out there who say you can't do it, you shouldn't do it, why are you doing it, this person's awful, this person is whatever. And as long as you're happy and you're content in your relationship, it doesn't matter. And that goes for straight people, gay people. It doesn't matter what other people think. And more so than ever, I have learned that this year, because Ryan doesn't seem like the typical person that would truly make me happy. And he's one of the most gentle, loving people with me. He's not abusive, he's not mean, he simply doesn't like a lot of photos and video on him. But I think as time goes on, you will see a different side of him. We are already shopping around for the photographer. We are going to have some maternity pictures taken, but they're going to be in October and November, because October and November we had some major life things happen for each of us that we don't really want to remember, that we want to refocus our energy and make new memories for that time. And obviously I'll be a lot bigger in October and November, so we are going to do the maternity shot, and I'll be more than happy to share those pictures with you guys. And he talks all the time about when we were in our 20s. I told him that, and I have no memory of this, excuse me, you guys, I have no memory of it, but apparently I told him that whenever we turn 40, we should just leave who we're with, get married, and be happy. And I feel like he's held that to the gun. He has really remembered it. He's told me that a dozen times, if not more. And I feel like after he is divorced, we will eventually get married. Both of us are a little scared of it. But I think in time we will, and even if we don't, it doesn't have any impact really on our relationship. I think he's around for the long term. I think we make each other happier than what our other partners made us, because even though I'm not in that big house anymore and I'm not married anymore, I'm truly happier in my relationship. And I really miss the house that I moved out of in Jeff when I got divorced. It was the perfect house. It was beautiful in a wonderful neighborhood. And I miss it. I just do. But that house is not everything, and I'm happy in this apartment. We are looking for someplace else to live, but we haven't really been in a big hurry. I have just settled in to the life I have now, and it's so much better than I expected. I'm stronger than what I used to be. I'm more confident than I used to be, and I'm not sharing as much as I used to, and I know you guys see that, and I'm sorry about that for so many different reasons. I just felt like I shared too much in my relationship with Scott. I felt like I shared too much of our lives, and I don't want to do that with Ryan. I want the most important part of our lives, the most important private moments, to remain private. They're not to be shared with the world or our exes or our children. Those are moments between him and I. And, at night when he's trying to feel the baby kick, or he's cuddled up to me, or kissing me in the ear, or, just laughing with me, which we do all the time. Those are not moments that I need to share with the world. Those are moments that I want to cherish in my heart and keep with me. And, some part of my life needed to be private, so I cut back on YouTube, and in a way I miss it, but in a way I'm really grateful. And, I do plan on continuing to make videos, some organization videos, and, get back on track. But it's not necessarily going to be just vlogs of everything Ryan and I do. And I'm okay with that, and I hope you guys are as well. But the main point that I wanted to really go over in this video is, in 1 year, your life can change so much. And just know that it will be okay, that you can get through it, that you're stronger than what you think. And don't walk away from unexpected love and kindness from friends, family, strangers, because it really does help. It helps tremendously. If I didn't have my best friend and Laura and my mom, I don't think I would have made it through it. And Russell, I don't think I would have made it through it. I just don't. And my kids, obviously. But I kept my kids away a lot of that time because, again, I just didn't want them seeing me like that. And now, as we move on into our life, it feels like we are a young couple in so many ways, because we got a baby coming. And, I'm not super close with Ryan's family, and I'm starting to work on that a little bit. We were at his sister's last night looking at our new beautiful home, and we hung out for a while, and I had a lot of good conversations. And his mom is baby shopping for us, and she's an amazing woman, and I love his dad to death. I love his dad, and I'm starting to build relationships. But obviously with Scott's family, his brother was weird to begin with. His mom I adored, and she passed away. And I was super close to his sister. But the truth is, she's one of those kinds of people that, you can talk to and you can tell all of your secrets to, and you can feel really comfortable discussing your relationship. And then it's used against you when she feels the need to try to hurt you, or try to be rude, or gossip about you. She uses that information that maybe you and Scott had a hard time, or during this particular moment, or this or that, and uses it against you. And that has made me more distant with so many people, because I have trust issues to begin with, and that just proves to me that no matter who you think you can really trust, a lot of times you can't. So be careful in those relationships that you form. I'm not saying, don't create bonds, because I believe Trina and I had a bond, but I believe she, in my heart, enabled her brother. I believe she killed him, along with the ex that was around, along with the best friend. And no one held a gun to Scott's head and made him be an addict. He was an addict long before, and I know his sister had dealt with that for years. But I just don't believe anybody took me serious when I was expressing to them how serious a problem it was becoming. And then to use private information to hurt you, or to hurt me, and to hurt his daughter, and, you know, just make herself out to be a saint, made me, you know, really not want to bond with anybody else's family. Russell's family that I know very well, my own family, I have been distant from a few people because I felt like they might be the same as her. You know, use your private information, the most painful times in your life, to come back and attack you with later. And now with Ryan's family, you know, I am slowly building relationships with them. And they're all wonderful people. And Ryan's ex still, you know, kind of hangs out with his sister a little bit, and that's fine. Our relationships are all separate to each other. And, you know, I really wish that, I wish in time we could be the family that my grandfather always wanted me to have, and the family that he always had. Very loyal, very loving family. But what you have to do, and what I have learned that you have to do, is create your own family, your own special moments. And even if that means, like now for Ryan and I, we are making new traditions. We are making memories on, you know, like yesterday on July 6th, or today on July 6th, we are making new memories that will take away the memories of pain and the memories of hurt, and just, you know, focusing on ourselves and our baby and our life together. And no matter what you think is, you know, going to happen, 9 times out of 10, it's not. And you got to be prepared to grow with the changes. And I've never been good with that. You know, I'm a planner. I like things thought out. I like to work out a plan. And it's just taken a while to learn that life doesn't always go according to a plan. You have to sometimes change those plans and adapt. And, you know, I cannot believe the difference a year has made. From this point last year to now, I'm not the same person. I'm stronger. I'm more confident. I just got a new job, and it is a customer service. It's a receptionist job where I'm just sitting, answering the phone, and I'm, you know, not calling anybody or anything like that, and just, you know, regular administrative duties. But it's mainly sittings, which is perfect for my pregnancy. And, you know, Ryan has done really well on taking care of us. But there, you know, there needs to be more savings built up, and we have a lot more baby items we need to get, and, you know, just so many different things. And I always let the pressure fall on Scott because he made so much more money. But, you know, honestly, I don't want Ryan to feel all those pressures. I know that his ex didn't work for the entire time, really, they were together. And he expressed to me that it was very hard on him, and that they struggled a lot. And, you know, he'd come home and she'd still be in her pajamas. And that's fine if that's really what they worked out. And there was a lot of days, you guys, I was the same way, because I had a husband that worked and made really good money. But I don't want him to feel that way, or to struggle in the same, you know, I don't want it to be just him. And so I don't mind working anymore. It's not a bad thing. Obviously, I'm going to take maternity leave, and I'll probably be off January through, or December through March is my guess. If everything goes as planned. And like I said, we do not really have a plan like, you know, I'm used to. But I do plan on continuing working, and I do plan on getting, you know, stronger and stronger, and building my relationships up full circle. My mom, my sister, my cousins, my boyfriend, my older kids, and, you know, just realize for me that maybe in a year life will be even better. You know, I'm truly happier inside, now that I am, not dealing with so many substance abuse issues and focusing more on myself, which sounds a little selfish, but I think it's something you have to do sometimes. Just focus on you and not worry about, outsiders and what they may think of you, or, how you look that day. I think you got to focus on being strong and realize that God is with you. Put your faith in God. Put your faith in prayer. Put your faith in your family and your support system, and you will be okay. I'm here to tell you, you will be okay. I am better than okay at this point. As people try to analyze my facial expressions, if I'm really happy or not, and I'm amused, really, that they spend so much time analyzing me, but no one really knows what's in my heart, just like they don't know what's in your heart. So no matter what your struggles are, you can make it through it. You can have a happier life if you just put the negative out and bring only the positive in. And that's what we do. Like, I don't worry about drugs anymore. I don't worry about cheating. I don't worry about lies. I don't worry about Ryan going back to his ex. I don't worry about my ex. They are on their own. They are, well-abled people, and they can handle life in a new way as well. And truthfully, I really do wish Angie the best, and I really do wish Art the best, and obviously I wish Russell the best. We're still friends. He's hilarious. But my focus is not them anymore. My focus, sorry about that. My focus is on my immediate family and my older kids and my relationships that are current. So just stay strong, be positive, and know that a year can make all the difference like it has for me. And if you're new to my channel, there are some videos about the divorce. We never really divorced. That's a whole long story. But I did do some videos, and I did remove some of those videos because I didn't want so much negativity out there. I overshared a lot, and I realize that now, and I'm taking a step back from that. So just know that obviously I am okay, but this video was just not just about me. It's about you guys, and about, number one, the family and the friends that took this journey with me. And I mean you as well, because so many of you took this journey with me. So many of you helped me, encouraged me, even when I put those videos up that I shouldn't have. And there's still times I put stuff up that I shouldn't, that I, wake up and think, well, I should take that down. And so I loved you guys, and I'll never forget the kind words and encouragement you gave me. But at this point in my life, I am moving on in a happier manner and learning to trust again, learning to love again, accepting my family for who they are, and some of them are a hot mess, and accepting that life has its own way of going on, and you just really need to go on with it. And a year is so, I'm amazed at how different my life has been in the course of 1 year. I'm just amazed. And in the beginning, I thought it was going to be awful, and thought that I wasn't going to make it through it. And here I am, you guys, in a loving, stable relationship with a baby on the way. It couldn't be much better than that. And like I said, if you're new to my channel, you can go back and check some of those videos out that are still up and kind of get an idea. But life goes on, and you have to go on with it. And I'm just really happy of the progress, I've made, and the progress that my life has taken. And it might not seem big, glorious, and fancy. It's really not. But it's happy, and that's all that truly matters. So I just wanted to make this video today because, like I said, a year has made so much difference. And I'm really not the same person. I'm more confident. I'm not as angry. I'm not as scared. I am just moving on with every day, and just trying to make the best memories I can while I'm still here. So thank you so much for watching. You can leave your thoughts and comments below. I'll be back soon with some organization videos and some other videos, so stay tuned. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to me ramble on. I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.